season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
From his end zone, here's Trent Taylor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Cincinnati's offense takes the field, and leading the way for the reigning AFC champs is last season's comeback player of the year, a man who needs no introduction, Joe Burrow.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
He gets this one to Boyd.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's punted out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now it's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
It's Ross Blacklock who earns the sack. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly. But that time, it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away.
The deep to return it is Marcus Jones.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. Throwing Jones.
Completes this one to Thornton.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 25 carries, 78 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
First carry now for Pierre Strong.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The Patriots come into this one still undefeated despite the one tie. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, a run with Strong.
And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now Jones. They'll roll him out right. That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Patriots are on the board first here this afternoon. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped by the touchdown pass to Nelson Aguilar.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Big Christian Barmore was there on the tackle.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow.
A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted.
Devin McCourty picks it off. 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
Looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick six to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England.
Tyquan Thornton, 53 yards. And the Patriots continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They will throw on first down with Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. A draw play for Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Joe Williams. And the Patriots will take over possession here up at the 44. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Jones.
Right side, Thornton with it. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Now Jones off the play fake. That's caught at the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
Tyquan Thornton
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Patriots have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
Folk connects on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was Tyquan Thornton who brought in the touchdown reception to cap things off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. First down. Here's Burrow. There's the stiff arm.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 29-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And the Pats are going to have it here at their own 15.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Open man here, the tight end Henry. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
They'll look to throw again.
And he gets this to Thornton.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing.
Touchdown, Patriots! Kendrick Bourne
in the final seconds of the first half. And the Patriots would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Folk. And a rout is on here in this first half. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Kendrick Bourne who was able to cap things off with a touchdown. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here we go. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman. Ready. All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Thornton. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Looking to throw. Jones finding Bourne here over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's pretty. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Damian Harris, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Patriots take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now Folk for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the 1st. Now Burrow.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Burrow.
Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
Another try for Mixon. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. They go play action with Burrow. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
No run back here for Jones, a touchback. New England's offense set to go.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run again with Harris. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, just like last play. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Harris running straight ahead.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones.
He's got his man, Thornton. He'll get it inside the 20.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Looking to throw. Jones.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
Touchdown! Jonnu Smith from 13 yards out.
And the Pats look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Full connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They're going to look to throw. And now here is another interception. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Forced out to his left. And it's caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. When you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a contra, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Marcus Jones picks it.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his...
And oh, it'll be intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense returns to the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on 3rd. Looking to throw.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Patriots, the win is their 8th on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5 and 10. And they will get a home date next